4 Pro Bowls, a second-team All-Pro selection. For a decade, he was the absolute undisputed anchor of that Indianapolis Colts offensive line. So Ryan Kelly's retirement, it isn't just a big story, folks. It's a seismic shock to the very foundation of this franchise. And trust me, it could have ripple effects across the entire AFC. So today, we're going to break down exactly what his departure means for the Colts, the massive void it creates, and, well, whether they have any real chance of filling his shoes. If you're a Colts fan or you just love the NFL chess match, you are not going to want to miss this. So do me a favor, make sure you're subscribed to NFL Nexus and go ahead and hit that like button. 10 seasons. What an incredible ride it was. And just like that, with those simple, powerful words posted on March 6, 2026, the entire Colts world was just turned upside down. Look, this wasn't just some player announcing he was done. This was the heart and soul of their offensive identity for the last 10 years deciding to step away from the game. And as we're about to see, his departure leaves a hole that's so much bigger than just the space one guy occupies on the field. And make no mistake about it, this isn't just another retirement. This is the definitive end of an era. I mean, those glory days of that dominant Colts offensive line, the one that was feared all around the league, they are officially over. Kelly was the last man standing from that legendary unit, the final link to a period of absolute trench warfare dominance. His departure closes the entire book on that chapter of Colts history. Okay, let's dive into this. So, to really get a handle on the massive impact of Kelly's retirement, we're going to break it down into 5 key parts. We'll start with the announcement itself, of course. Then we'll take a look back at his legendary career. We'll cover his final and kind of difficult season. After that, we'll analyze the huge void he leaves behind. And finally, we'll see what the Colts' plan is for the future. So let's start with the news itself. At just 32 years old, which, for an O-lineman is arguably still in your prime, Ryan Kelly walked away from the game. This wasn't a player who was forced out because his skills were declining or because the team was moving on. No, this was a highly effective, truly elite player who chose to leave on his own terms. And that decision has sent shockwaves not just through the Colts organization, but through that locker room and the entire fan base. Now, what's really interesting here is this term anchor, because Ryan Kelly wasn't just a center. He was basically the quarterback of the offensive line. I mean, every single down, he was the guy reading the defense, pointing out blitz packages, adjusting the protections, and making sure all 4 other linemen knew exactly what their assignment was. He was the nerve center, the brain, the stabilizing voice that set the physical tone. That's what an anchor is, and that is precisely what the Colts have lost. Without him, their offense is going to look and sound a whole lot different. All right, so to really understand what the Colts have lost, we have to look back at exactly what they had. And what they had in Ryan Kelly was a true franchise cornerstone, right from day one. From the moment he was drafted 18th overall, Ryan Kelly was a star in the making. The mission was simple, but it was immense. Protect Andrew Luck at all costs. And Kelly wasn't just a part of that plan, he was the centerpiece. He started immediately and never looked back, solidifying a line that had been in total turmoil. By 2019, he was getting his due with his first Pro Bowl. The absolute peak, though, was 2020, being named second-team All-Pro, which officially recognized him as one of the 2 best centers in the entire league. And even as late as 2023, he was still playing at a Pro Bowl level. I mean, this isn't just a good career, it's a decade-long legacy of sustained, elite dominance. 4 Pro Bowls. That's not just a number on a page, that's a statement. Think about the era he played in, right? This was the time of Jason Kelce, Travis Frederick, Alex Mack. I mean, a golden age for centers. And year after year, Ryan Kelly was right there in that conversation, recognized by his peers and coaches as one of the absolute best. He wasn't just a good player on a good line. He was a titan of his position group. 121 starts. Just think about that for a second. In a league that is defined by chaos, by injuries, by constant roster turnover, Ryan Kelly was a rock. He was the one constant in a sea of change. He protected Andrew Luck, Jacoby Brissett, Phillip Rivers, Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan. The list just goes on and on. Quarterbacks came and went, but Kelly was always there, the one reliable presence you could build everything around. The Colts are going to miss that stability more than they even realize right now. And get this, 13 sacks. That's it. In 9 seasons with the Colts, over thousands and thousands of pass-blocking snaps against the most freakishly powerful defensive linemen on the planet, he gave up a total of 13 sacks. That's not just good, it's insane. It's a number that borders on unbelievable. It's a testament to his flawless technique, his intelligence, and his just unwavering dedication to his craft. It is the very definition of elite. So if he was this dominant, this reliable, this important to the Colts, you're probably asking, why did he ever leave? Well, the answer is simple: money. The NFL is a business first and foremost. After the 2024 season, with Kelly entering his 30s, the Colts made the tough call to get younger and manage their salary cap, and they let their veteran anchor walk. And sometimes, those tough decisions come back to haunt you. So this led him to Minnesota on a pretty solid 2-year deal, but his time there was a far cry from his glory days in Indianapolis. It was a season of frustration, of injuries, and a lot of what-ifs. It was a stark reminder of how quickly things can change in this league, and in the end, it was the brief, difficult final chapter in what was a legendary career. But do not mistake that difficult season for a decline in talent. Even in a lost year, Ryan Kelly was still one of the best. When he was on the field for the Vikings, he posted a Pro Football Focus grade of 82.2, a career high. Let that sink in for a second. In his final injury-riddled season, he was playing the best football of his entire life. It's just a bittersweet reminder of just how elite he was, right up to the very end. So why walk away? At the end of the day, it was about his health. A football career always has a price, and Kelly decided he had paid enough. Over 10 years, he battled through countless injuries. But the concussions, they were the final, unavoidable factor. Our sources list 6 documented concussions in his career. And here's the truly scary number. 3 of them, half of his career total, came in that one single season in Minnesota. That is a terrifying statistic, and it's a stark reminder of the toll this game can take. Ryan Kelly absolutely made the right decision for himself and his family, but it's a decision that now leaves the Colts with a massive problem. Ryan Kelly's retirement officially closes the book on a player who really defined the Chris Ballard era in Indianapolis. He was the foundational draft pick that lived up to all the hype and then some. And now his departure leaves a massive, gaping hole right in the heart of the Colts offense. And the question is, how on earth are they going to fill it? I mean, how do you replace a legend? That's the question staring the Colts front office right in the face. And it's not as simple as just drafting a new center. How do you replace the all-pro talent? How do you replace a decade of experience? How do you find a new leader, a new anchor, a new heart for your entire unit? That's the challenge, and it is a monumental one. So what is the Colts' plan to answer that question? Well, it's simple, at least in theory. Build from within. They aren't looking for some quick fix in free agency. No, they're looking to lock down their own key players and build a stable team that can compete not just next year, but for years to come. According to our sources, these are the 5 players that the Colts have identified as mission critical to keep: a big play deep threat receiver, a ball-hawking young safety, a tackling machine at linebacker, a versatile offensive lineman, and a do-it-all blocking tight end. This isn't just some random list. These are the players who will form the foundation of the new-look Colts. So let's dig into why each one is so important. On defense, you start with 2 key pieces. First, safety Nick Cross. At just 24, he has developed from a raw prospect into a legitimate rising star. Just look at those tackle numbers. The guy's always around the ball. But more importantly, you see the sacks and tackles for loss improving. He's becoming a complete player, and you just cannot let a young, ascending talent like that walk out the door. Then there's Jermaine Pratt, the veteran linebacker who knows the system inside and out. He's that steadying presence you need. But the big-ticket item is on offense. Alec Pierce, the receiver who led the league in yards per catch. In today's NFL, you have to pay for explosive playmakers, and keeping him is priority number 1 to make sure their offense has a vertical threat. And then you have the unsung heroes, right? The guys who do the dirty work. First up, Mo Alley-Cox. He's the key to the Colts' entire running game. In their scheme, he basically functions as a 6th offensive lineman who can also catch touchdowns in the red zone. The dude is invaluable. And then there's Danny Pinter. Now look, re-signing your backup center might not sound exciting, but in a post-Ryan Kelly world, he might be the most strategically important player on this list. He's the insurance policy. He knows the system, he has starting experience, and he provides a competent veteran presence at the exact position that is now a terrifying question mark. It's a move that provides immediate stability while they search for a long-term answer. So the Colts, they have a plan. They're focusing on keeping their own guys and building a deep roster. But is it enough? This is the billion-dollar question that's going to define their entire season. Can you truly replace a legend, a leader, an anchor like Ryan Kelly with a collection of very good role players? That's the gamble Chris Ballard is taking right now. So what do you think? What should the Colts' biggest priority be right now? Should they draft a center in the first round, give Alec Pierce a blank check, fortify the defense? Let me know your game plan in the comments below. I really do read all of them. And hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive, do me a huge favor and hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed to NFL Nexus for more explainers on the biggest stories in the league. Thanks for watching, everybody. And hey, don't forget to check out our NFL-themed coloring books using the link in the description or by just scanning the QR code on your screen. They're the perfect way to unwind after a long day of watching football for you or for the kids. We really do appreciate the support. We'll see you next time on NFL Nexus.